My name is Mike Irvin. I am the Associate Home and Garden Editor at Sunset Magazine, and we're up at the Test Gardens up in Sonoma at Cornerstone. You should come visit if you haven't been here before. And I'm real lucky today because I'm with Phil Pursel from Dave Wilson's Nursery, davewilson.com, who is there, the company, and this is the man for all of your backyard fruit trees. So really like unusual things, your really common, good old varieties, and then lots of new and exciting stuff. And today we're going to talk about summer pruning and bringing your trees down and making sure they don't get too crazy. Phil.
So, basically what I go over is when I do seminars, everyone's just afraid of pruning. and I tell people it's not rocket science. So especially with summer pruning, in fact, our test orchards at our nursery, and we let it get a little out of hand, and 2 weeks ago, it got to the point where we just came back and just hacked it back. I've gone to our test orchards in the summertime just with power hedge trimmers and knock things back.
Yeah.
Summer pruning is all about bringing things down, size control, so that you'll be able to manage fruit picking, for the life of the tree.
Yeah, you don't want to be dragging ladders and things into your garden.
Nope. Yeah. Now this is a classic example, spicy nectar plum.
What's the spicy nectar plum? What can you tell us about this?
So this is a very interesting tree. It's actually an interspecific hybrid. It's a cross between a plum and a nectarine.
Cool.
And the flavor is just unbelievable. It's what we consider an edible ornamental. It comes out with bright, just magenta pink flowers in the springtime. All the new growth comes out red, kind of like a purple leaf plum. And then it reverts back to its natural green color.
Cool. And then this one we pruned in February.
In February, we pruned it back, and you can see the prune mark where I started was down here. Everyone at Cornerstone thought I was crazy because they were worried that for the sunset celebration there would be no tree. And I assured them that when I come back in the summertime, this thing is going to go out of control. And as you can see, in about 4 months' time, it's grown about 5 feet, which is what you would expect. Right now in the Central Valley, our trees at the nursery, they're growing 1.5 inches a day with the heat. So, that's why pruning is very essential, because a regular homeowner would plant this tree and they would just be like, they let it grow, and already year number 2, it's out of control. All the new fruit's going to be up high, you're not going to be able to get it. Then they're going to start losing faith, and then it just keeps getting taller. So what I tell people is when you're out there working in your garden, in the summertime, and you're pruning your privet hedge or whatever, just go over there and knock that fruit tree down, keep it down, to a manageable height.
And this is a good time of year, so July?
June, July, and July is really good.
Yeah.
Anytime in July, because what that does, it still allows, you're going to see I'm going to prune this back hard, it's still going to allow a little bit of new growth to come out on this tree so that it'll have some protection over the winter time and such. You don't want to wait too long. We'll do a quick apricot. We want apricots to be pruned in the summertime only, not in the winter time.
Okay.
That allows all the pruning marks to heal over, and it helps prevent it getting in any type of bacterial fungus issues over the winter.
Cool. Let's make some cuts.
So look at this tree. First thing I'm going to do is it's too tall, so I'm going to go in. I'm going to open this up a little bit, and here we go.
This is exciting. This is fun. I like this.
So I'm going to come in. I'm going to go with big loppers.
Oh man. Damn. Whoa.
So there's the first one. I'm going to open up a little bit more. I see I have this guy. What? So I'm just kind of going back to where I originally opened up the tree. And then I'm going to come up and just bring everything back. I like to prune to outside buds.
Yeah.
So I'm just making kind of crude cuts. You see, I'm kind of treating the outside buds.
And what do you say to people who say, like, don't use loppers, you should only be using fancy tools, saws? Like, what do you say to them?
Oh, I just like sharp tools. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
So.
And you're always cutting to like a bud that's facing
a bud
out?
or a branch. It tends to face out so that we don't have too much crossing.
And then you're really not looking too much for shape right now, right?
No, I'm just kind of cutting things, just pruning back to get everything back into check is what we call it.
Hey Phil, what if the tree still has fruit?
But the tree still has fruit. That kind of shows you where you want to have the, it's almost, usually almost has a guideline. So like peaches and nectarines, all the new fruit next year is going to be right in here, right? This year it produced down below. So I use that as a guide, and we always leave a little bit more so it keeps on growing. So the fruit keeps, level comes up a little bit. But what it really does, it starts to regenerate new growth inside. So we're always kind of rotating and having fruit where it's down low. Before, if we didn't do that, the fruit going forward, it's going to be 12 feet tall. So
Gotcha.
So all I'm doing now is I'm just coming back, just kind of bringing everything in, just more control. We'll come back in the winter time and do a little bit more what we call cleanup work.
So how much do you think you've taken, like how many feet did you take down?
Well, just by, just strategic cuts. And look at this.
It's taller than you by 3 feet?
Yeah, so I took 7 feet off, and if you look at the tree, it's perfect. I mean, that's exactly where we want that tree going in the wintertime. Done. And that took, even with talking, took less than 5 minutes, one tree. So
that's awesome.
That's why we want people to understand this summer pruning it's all about coming in and doing some crude cuts. We're still leaving wood here that we know is going to produce fruit next year. All the nectar plums are going to be right here. And
so just don't be scared. Get in there.
Don't be scared. No, I always tell people, pruning a fruit tree is almost like a haircut. You get a bad haircut, it grows out. This will grow out, right? By making sure that you kind of prune to an outside bud, we're making sure that if there was a bad prune, it's not coming inside. We just kind of air this out a little bit. And that's all we really want to do in the summertime. This is the height that we're going to get all the trees at. So that kind of gives you an idea. Just a few strategic cuts and you're ready to go.
And do you try to cut every branch, like tip every branch, or does that matter to you?
No. Right now we're just trying to just check everything back.
Gotcha.
Hey Phil, can you tell us what wood the fruit will grow on, how you know what's good wood?
Well, it just depends on the variety. So like peaches and nectarines, next year's fruit is on all the fresh growth. So if you probably can't tell, but this wood right here, you can tell is a little more mature. So this was from last year. The fresh wood right here, you see it's very fleshy. So this is this year's growth, right? This is where the fruit's gonna be, right up through here. Whereas this past year, the nectar plums were on this part of the wood, which was last year's new growth. So that's the peaches and nectarines.
Cool.
With plums and apricots, they tend to produce off of older wood. So you can really keep those things trimmed back hard and have constant fruit for years and years. Peaches and nectarines got to be just a little bit more careful. But the summer pruning now, if we come in here in the wintertime, we'll thin this out a little bit more. It's going to open up so new growth will come inside. So people are always worried about, you're cutting all the fruit wood off of it, but we're also regenerating new fruit roots. So
do we want to do one more tree?
Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll do the plum over here. It might be a pluot. I believe this was a pluot. Once again, it's too tall.
Right here.
So this tree right here, I made the pruning right here in the back in the fall. So you can see it's pushed almost 8 feet in a few months. Got to bring it way back down. This one I can tell I'm going to open up just a little on the inside because we have a couple branches like this right here in competition.
So they're just too close together, right?
Too close together. We have 3 branches here plus 1 back here. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to take this branch out, this branch out. So out of the 3, we got 2 out. That opens it up, and now I'm going to bring it back down hard. From here, once again, I'm shooting to an outside bud. I'm just going to go ahead. We call this checking the growth down.
Can you tell us what an outside bud looks like?
Yeah, sure. So a perfect example is this one right here. Okay, I cut this so the new growth is going to go out right here. If I were to cut above here, see this bud, this branch, it's going to shoot on the inside. Right. We don't want that. We want all of our fruit trees to open up. So to counteract that, I know right on the other side there is a bud which will become a branch, is facing towards me. That's where we want things to open up.
Okay, so then where would you make the cut now on that one?
So this one, because I don't want it going inside, I'm going to come right above it, take it off. Now I know all this new branching is coming up, so it's going to open things out.
Right. And then do you care about it being an angled cut, a flat cut? Does it matter?
Not really. You don't want to go too deep into the bud itself. So, I leave a little bit above.
Yeah.
I don't get, in summer pruning, I don't get too, worried about that. And just with, most pruning, it's just think of, you want buds, branches facing out.
Yeah.
Just bring things back in.
And like in the winter, you have to worry a lot about like bugs and funguses. In the summer, that's not an issue because it's not raining. Is that
right?
Yeah.
And so in the winter times when you do all your, your dormant spraying and such, all I'm doing right now is bringing the height of this tree back into control. Just letting everyone know this is where the fruit's going to be next year. Yeah. Here and here. That's where we want it. We don't want fruit up there. Way too high. So I'm just coming around and just bringing the height of this whole tree down, knowing that going forward, even the rest of this year, it's probably going to put on another foot of growth.
right?
And that's kind of where we want everything to be.
Is it okay to prune right now in Southern California when it's so hot?
Absolutely. I mean, we're pruning right now in the Central Valley where it's 100 degrees.
Does it matter? Do you want to go in the morning, in the afternoon? Does it matter?
No, not. It doesn't really matter. All you want to do is, if you are, if you're in a really hot area, and when I talk hot, I'm talking about Central Valley hot, you kind of have to be careful when you open things up because you can expose it to sunburn. But, in this climate right here, I know I can open things up a little bit more and not worry about sunburn. See, this branch right here is in the middle doing nothing. So I'm going to come back down just to open up the tree. And then these branches right here, just kind of thinning things out a little bit and then bringing it back. And as I do this quickly, it's easy for me to catch what I consider an outside bud.
Yep.
And then here we go. So this tree we brought back down. We might come in a little harder, but I mean, once again, we took 6 feet off of this tree. Unnecessary growth, right? This right here is going to become, 12-foot tree in 2 years. It's just out of control. So, the summer pruning is just go in there, don't be afraid, bring things down. Now we already see this is where next year's fruit is.
Yep.
It's easy to pick.
Yep.
We're gonna come back in, and this is gonna be kind of the height that every summer we're gonna come back just about this height right here. It'll start rejuvenating a lot of new growth. We saw that happening. I actually had to cut some out, right? So as we start realizing, some of these branches aren't quite as productive, we'll take them out because we have new stuff coming in and regenerate out. So.
And do you ever come back like in August and do any cleanup or just
sometimes I have to. My orchard at home, okay, I live in the Central Valley. I prune twice. I prune it actually 3 times. I do it in the what I call my technical pruning in the wintertime. I just kind of clean things up a little bit.
Yep.
Then I go ahead and get my sprays on it. Springtime, we get a lot of growth, so I keep things in check, and then come back, and I just finished doing some pruning about 2-3 weeks ago to keep the hive back down again.
Cool.
So it's all it is, not rocket science. It's just don't be afraid to get in there and prune things back.
Yep.
It's very healthy for the tree to do that. That's what people don't understand. So
cool.
Is this type of summer pruning for all fruit trees?
Well, this is really for deciduous fruit trees. We can go ahead and take a quick look. We have some apples over here. Apples don't get prolific growth that peaches and nectarines and plums and apricots do.
So it's the stone fruit that they're taking off on you?
Yeah. So you can see these apple trees are the same age, but they don't have nearly the growth.
Yep.
So what I would do, well, let's do it. I'm just coming back on these apples, and once again, because we want to keep things manageable, I'm going to just bring this down a little bit. Using my eyes as kind of level as a guideline coming back.
So it's sort of like you're keeping it almost like at the height of your head, essentially, right?
Yeah, exactly.
How about citrus trees?
Well, citrus trees are a little different, whereas in the summertime they're getting too big. Trim them, right? Citrus you can almost trim year round to keep size control, because you don't get the massive growth that you do off of deciduous trees. So citrus is more of a maintenance year round. You don't want to do a lot of heavy pruning, say going into September, October, because since citrus are actively growing year round, pruning, what it does is that it helps generate new growth.
Right.
On citrus, if you do that too late in the season, it starts pushing out. Let's say you go in there in September, early October, and you prune it back, it's going to want to push new growth.
Right.
And that new growth is going to be tender to the frost coming forward. So usually citrus, you would kind of taper back, and then also, don't do it past, maybe October would be the very latest that you'd want to do.
Because you're scared of the frost, right?
You're scared of the new growth coming up and being susceptible to frost damage. So that's why citrus tends to be more of warm season type of pruning.
And you would never do like what we just did to a citrus tree, right?
No, because the citrus stone fruit just a little bit different.
Okay.
Right? So,
is there? And then do you know what kind of apple this is?
This one is an Arkansas Black.
What can you tell us about Arkansas Black?
Arkansas Black is a kind of a later season apple, so we're talking later season, being almost into October. Hangs on the tree for a long time.
So even though we got a big one right there, that won't be ripe?
That one won't be ripe for really about we're into September is when it's going to start ripening, and it'll hang. And the Arkansas Black gets a dark red on it.
Cool.
Yep, long, and it's the nice thing about Arkansas Black. It loves the heat and it loves the coastal climate, so it's really adaptable.
And what if all the trees you got going on right now, what do you think is your favorite sort of newer tree that people should know about?
Probably the Pluery.
All right, tell us about the Pluery.
So the Pluery is it's a relatively new fruit type. It's a cross between a plum and a cherry. And what's nice about the Plueries, and you'll start seeing them in farmers markets here, soon. It's a relatively new fruit type. It has the characteristics of both plum and cherries. It's a smaller growing fruit.
Yep.
Nice thing is that it hangs on the tree for up to 2 months.
Cool.
So you can eat it hard ripe, you can eat it soft ripe, and it's just the intense flavors in it are just it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
You don't see it in commercial orchards because the Zager family has certain licensing agreements with a few packing houses. But they allow the home garden market to have it so that the home gardener can enjoy it. And it's really taken off as, you know, kind of the new fruit type. You know, we're known for our pluots, and people are familiar with pluots. That's just a plum apricot cross.
Right.
That's an exclusive Dave Wilson variety, and Apriums,
And don't you have a cherry coming in, like a cherry for?
Yeah, so new for going to be for 2018 is Royal Crimson. Royal Crimson is the first low chill self-fertile cherry available to the home garden market.
And what do you mean by low chill?
Low chill is, we've been experimenting with this line of low chill cherries. The low chill is, this Royal Crimson will produce down in San Diego, so 200 hours or less.
Yeah.
And it's self-fertile, so it doesn't need another cherry tree.
So you can have the one in your backyard.
The one in the backyard, exactly.
Cool.
The real twist on this low chill cherry is that more and more cherry growers up here in the Central Valley are going with low chill cherries. Two reasons. One, they tend to be a little bit earlier producing, so the first to the market. But just with the last 10 years, the winters, the chill hours have been up and down and up and down, so the cherry farmers have had inconsistent crop set.
Yep.
But if they go with this low chill cherry, the crop set is consistent. So they want that in their mix, so they always have cherries coming in there.
Cool.
So Royal Crimson is the new one.
Royal Crimson, buy it, 2018. I think we can sort of wrap up here, but this is Phil Pursel from Dave Wilson's Nursery, davewilson.com. The website has tons of like educational information.
Fruit tube videos. They'll show you what I'm doing right here.
Yeah. So if you missed part of this, you can go and check out these videos, which will show you more about summer pruning, winter pruning, all kinds of stuff.
All that kind of stuff.
And then you have Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff.
All that stuff. Yep.
Dave Wilson's Nursery. All right.
All right. Thanks.